Welcome to my adventure showcase for the Dragonking's prize. Uh, if you check all the other adventure showcase videos that I've uploaded, I always upload videos for repeatable adventures. For example, right now we have the Castuli expedition running, and if you check this adventure, here it says replayable yes, which means that for the days that this adventure is replayable, you can do it on and on and on, hundreds of times if you have the time. However, that is not the case for the Dragon King's prize. This adventure is not replayable. You get 5 energy every day, but you can, as I said, you cannot replay it. All adventures come back every 2-3 months, more or less. There is no fixed schedule, so some adventures take longer than others to come around, but all of them are repeatable in time. But every time they come around, adventures like this cannot be played once. So why am I recording a video for this adventure? What makes this adventure special? Well, let's go to the archive and let's check the different seasons. For season 1, we have from season 1.1 to season 1.5. From season 2, we have season 2.0 to season 2.5. Season 3, we have from season 3.0 to season 3.5. And finally, for season 4, we have only 4.0 and 4.1. 4.2 will be released next week. Now, in case you missed it, let me do it again. For example, for season 3, we go into season 3.0 and we can check, okay, in this season we can get the Amulet of the First, which is the unique item for the Ancient Dragon set. Season 3.1, we can get as unique item the Mirror of the Forgotten, which belongs to the same set. 3.2, we can get the Vambraces of the Caged. Season 3.3, we can get the Shield, the Guard of the Belligerent. Season 3.4, we can get the Crown of the Fallen. And finally, season 3.5, we can get the Orb of the Last. All these 6 items belong to the same set, which is the Ancient Dragon set. And here you can see all the 6 pieces of equipment. However, if we go back to season 1, well, let's check each one. Season 1.1, we can get the Shield of Anthrite, which belongs to the Dragon King set. Season 1.2, we can get the Yggdrasil's Pendant. 1.3, we can get the Oberon's Ski Belt. 1.4, we can get the Duskside Helm. And 1.5, we can get the Dragon Realm Ring. All these 5 pieces of equipment belong to the Dragon King set. However, the Dragon King set has 6 pieces of equipment. So where is the 6th piece? There is no season 1.0. There are no 6 items in this set. There are only 5 right here, from 1.1 to 1.5. Well, the answer is obviously this adventure. The Dragon King's prize allows you to get the 6th item in that set. And this is the only way you can get this item. This item cannot be crafted. It cannot show up in any chest in any dungeon, and it cannot show up in any cache item. You must play this adventure if you want to have access to this item. And this item, as I said, is the Dragonking axe. Now, a side effect of this is that this is the only unique item that you cannot get as a mythical item. When you finish the adventure, you will get one legendary Dragonking axe. And then you will have to go to your crafter Soul Chaser because it's a weapon. And here, with a level 50 Soul Chaser, you will have to spend resources to upgrade your Dragonking axe to mythical rarity. So, going back to the adventure, let's start. Now, the first thing that you notice that is completely different is that there are no 5 difficulties like usual. 5, some adventures have only 4, but this adventure has just 1 difficulty, which is ultimate. Starts at level 50 and ends at level 62, and you will get 200 gems if you complete it. And as you can see here, this adventure can only be played once. This is a copy and paste from other adventures that can only be played once. The completed difficulty will also grant all lower difficulty rewards, but there is only one of them. And as I showed you here, you have 5 energy per day. It's not replayable. It has a single difficulty setting, and it has persistent health, which means that your health is not replenished in between fights, but you can use potions and crystals. These are the potions and the crystals that you normally purchased when you do events. When you go here into these caches and buy, those are the ones that you can use in this adventure as well as the events. So, let me show you the map quickly. As you can see, nothing special for here. For the start, we have here 2 different paths. But here we see this thing. This is the legendary flux, which is like a molten lava orb or something like that. And if you look at the map, you will see that there are 1, 2, 3 here when it changes. Okay, come on, 3, and I think there is a 4th one here if I remember correctly. Yeah, right here. Let's give it time to change. There is the 4th one. So you need to collect all 4 of them. Then you go here to the toll gate. You spend all 4 of them to open the gate. And then it's a straight line with 2 fights to the end. So the map may look a little bit confusing, but it's really not complicated. And as you can see, all the paths that go into the orbs are dual pathways, so they can go in both directions, which means that you can do each one of them in the order that you prefer. So let's start the adventure and show you how to do it. As you can see here, we get 5 energy every day, and this adventure lasts for a total of 7 consecutive days. The energy replenishes every day, however, you don't get 5 energy per day. It only replenishes. If you don't spend all your energy in one day, For example, if I don't play today, tomorrow I won't have 10 energy. I will only have 5. However, if I spend it, then tomorrow I will replenish and have 5 more. So let's start the adventure. As usual, I have the selection for all the dialogues to be skipped. Here, skip completed conversations, because I've already played this adventure before, so it's not going to show you any of the conversations. The adventure starts at level 51, but it ends at 65, I think it was. So if this is the first time you see this adventure, it is very likely that you won't be strong enough to do it. Don't worry about it. Just keep playing the game, and the next time it shows up, you will be able to finish it. First enemy is an ant or a trend. I don't remember exactly the name of this thing, but nothing particularly difficult. The second one, I think, is a leech. Um, an arch leech. Okay, gain 5% power when taking dark damage. Okay, I don't have a dark build, so not a problem. And let's go to the next fight. The next fight costs 2 energy. And it's, as you can see, it's a dungeon. The first enemy is an ice giant, frost giant. Gain 10 mana when taking ice damage. I do have an ice build, but I'm strong enough, so it's not a problem for this build. The second enemy is Christos, also takes 10 mana when taking ice damage. Okay. And the third enemy is the boss, which is Ice Heart, which also has the same. The 3 enemies are really the same uh, enemy, but a bit more powerful. Okay, another chest, no problem. And we have a little conversation here. We're just going to skip it. Okay, now here we can choose the 2 different paths. If we go south, we can get one of these 3 buffs, well, 1 buff or 2 debuffs for the enemies. If we go north, we can have access to this merchant that gives 1 random epic rune for gold, or a legendary or a mythic rune for gems. I have plenty of runes, so I don't need the merchant. I don't need the Fae either, but I'm gonna go south for this one. Welcome back. So I had a problem while recording. Apologies for that, but yeah, technical difficulties. So let's see if I can continue recording this video without more issues. Okay, as I was saying, here you can select doing north or south. The merchant at the north sells you some runes, epic, legendary, or mythic. I have tons of runes right now, and I personally don't think that they are worth it for that price, so I'm going to go south for the Fae gift. Okay, now if you're a new player and you don't have a Castuli helm, probably the barrier will be your best pick, but for me, I'm strong enough to do it without any buff or debuff. I'm going to select the poisoned debuff for the extra damage, but just select whatever is best for your build. And let's go through the next fight. just a regular fire giant. Gain 10 mana when taking fire damage. I don't deal fire damage, so with this build, it's not a problem. Alright, now, normally, as I said at the start of this video, you get 5 energy every day for free. Well, you replenish 5 energy per day for free, and the adventure lasts for a total of 7 days, so you get 35 energy. However, to record this video, because I don't want to do it in 7 different days, I'm going to spend money, well, gems on energy. However, don't do this. Just remember to play every day and you will get more than enough energy to do the whole adventure. Unless you, for some reason, forgot to play it, you're on the last day and you just remember, oh shit, I haven't played the Dragonking's Prize. It's the last day. Okay, in that case, yeah, go here and spend some gems on energy. I'm going to spend 10 energy and continue recording the video. Okay, next fight against this 18, which has also Dark Vigor, 10, gain 10 mana when taking dark damage. We don't care about that. We can get a column for the extra armor, but we don't really need it. And that's a goodbye. Okay. And against the next enemy, which is another dungeon, we start with the Dire Bear. Remember that this enemy reduces all elemental damage by 3% for each red or purple gem on the board. So if you are playing a red or purple elemental build, be very careful with it not to generate too many gems that you're barely able to hurt it. Next enemy is a Ogre Magi. Gain 5% life each turn for every debuff on him. This is a regeneration type, but again with this build it's not a problem. And finally the boss, which is a Hellcat or a Hellion, that gains 25 mana when taking fire damage. So if you have a fire damage build, be careful. Otherwise, another easy dungeon for you. We continue with more conversation. I don't know why the game doesn't auto skip these conversations. It should, because I already did them, but okay. Anyway, this is the first fork in the road, and as you can see, both paths you can play them in both directions. So at this point in time, you can go either way, but because you have to go through all 4 paths until the end to collect the 4 um, legendary flux, well, if I say continue, it will continue through the main path, or what the game considers the main path is, through here. So I'm gonna take this side path and clear this area. We have this wolf here. Okay, we got 3 already. Deals 25 bonus melee damage if there are 5 or more skull gems on the board. So yeah, if there are lots of skulls on the board, be careful because he can increase his damage considerably at low levels. He's dead. Next one. Here, always look when you are on one of the side paths because the game will give you the option to continue through the main path instead. So yeah, you have to remind it, no, I want to go this way instead. Okay, we have this Doom Knight, 50% damage reduction if current armor is greater than 0. So if you have an elemental build like this one, you will need to hit it harder than usual. But I'm strong enough that I can one-shot it either way. We continue through this side path and we have a dungeon. The first enemy is a lich. Again, remove, is a lich or is, yeah. Remove 2 skull gems from the board when taking ice damage. I do deal ice damage, but I don't care if the skulls are removed because I don't deal physical damage. The second one is a giant or great ice worm. Gain 20% power while at full health. Again, if you're low level, as you can see, the damage ramps up considerably, so be careful. And the third enemy, which is Lady Crystal, yeah, level 60. When taking ice damage, convert 3 green gems to blue gems. Not a problem with a nice build like mine, and she's dead. And we get our first legendary flux and some gold and some accessory shards. Okay, so one of the paths is completed. Let's go continue through the main path. Okay, I don't know what is the name of this thing. Doom Guardian. Okay. Runic Bark. On taking physical damage, apply 1 stack of Doom to the enemy. And when dealing damage, there is a 25% chance to create a Doom gem. We don't care about it. Doom deals damage, is a countdown type of debuff that deals damage at the end of the duration. And here, again, we can continue through the main path or get the side path through here. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. We have a harpy. Destroys 1 skull gem at the start of my turn. Okay. You can destroy all skulls. I don't care. This is not a physical build. So no problem. The next enemy will be a Hellcat. Flaming Height, gain 25 mana when taking fire damage. We already faced a similar enemy, so no problem. Goodbye. Next enemy. Okay, the next enemy is the dungeon, but we are out of energy. I'm gonna buy the other 15 energy that I can buy. Today, I don't know if it's going to be enough or not, but if it isn't, at least you can see most of the adventure, if not all of it. Okay, and okay, so we start with a fire giant that gets mana when taking fire damage. The second enemy is the Flame Guard, which is a special mini boss but has exactly the same ability. And then the boss, which is Scorch. When taking fire damage, convert 3 blue gems to red gems. We don't deal fire damage, so there is no problem. Okay, and this is the second legendary flux that we have collected. We have 2 out of 4. Let's continue through the main path to fight this giant bat. Gains 1% block chance for each purple and blue gem on the board. So if you're playing a physical build, it can be quite annoying. His base block chance is 46, but it goes up to 66. So make sure that you have a way to deal with it. But this is an elemental build, so he's dead, as usual. And now again, you can continue through the main path or take the side. Oh no, there is another fight here. My bad. With a Fallen Knight, takes 5% reduced damage from all sources for each skull gem on the board. It's similar to the Dire Bear and the Owl Bear, and the other one I think is a Frost Bear that take reduced damage depending on certain gems on the board. So what I'm going to do is this. Okay, still got 3 more. Okay, okay, okay. You're gonna stop? All right. But yeah, it's not a problem. For us, we can still one-shot it. And now it should be yes. Now we can continue the main path through here or take the detour, which is exactly what I'm going to take. Now, this is a very nasty enemy, the Fallen Draconos. When taking magical damage, gains Reflect. And when taking physical damage, inflicts terror on you. Now, terror increases the amount of damage you receive by 20% if there are 5 or more purple gems on the board, but he uses blue elements, so it's not really a problem. However, Reflect, if you are not strong enough, can be a big problem. With this build, I can one-shot it, so I don't really care. But okay, let's see if Cockatrice Juju doesn't kill it. No, it still kills. But if it didn't, it would have gained Reflect, and then the next attack will be reflected against me. So yeah, this enemy can be a pain in the ass. Next one is another Leech, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, removes 2 skull gems. We've already faced 1 or 2 before, counting the Arch Leech. So again, not a problem. Really the biggest or the most dangerous enemy so far has been the Fallen Draconos. The rest of the enemies are just basically big meat shields, but nothing else. We get another dungeon before the next flux. And okay, here we have another nasty enemy, which is the living statue. That is immune to negative status effects and also can gain a barrier when receiving physical damage. With this build, we don't care about the barrier because we are not dealing any physical damage unless some skulls fall down, but not normally, so it's not really an issue. This first enemy, there is a 10% chance at the start of the turn to gain a barrier, and it did proc, which is unlucky for us. This is the Sand Golem, but it's just a mid shield. You will just have to hit it harder to overcome the barrier. The second enemy, as I said, is the living statue. The immunity to negative status effects makes it almost impossible to deal with him with a purple warlock, purple burn warlock build or a similar build. Usually the shaman against this type of enemy or any green elemental build that relies on extra damage from poison or juju or wither or etc. has a problem. Now, I don't know why the poison status still has effect because it's a gift from the face, so maybe that's the reason. I don't know if this is a bug or a feature, but whatever. He's dead. And then we have uh, just a generic gold dragon. When taking light damage, compared 3 purple gems to yellow gems. As you can see, all dragons have that similar skill, but again, not a problem like this. And we get the third prize, which is the third legendary flux. Okay, I'm not going to have enough energy to finish it, I'm afraid. But I think I can show you at least this node, which will be the last. I don't know if the 7 energy that I have left will be enough or not. We have another Arch Lich, but yeah, gain 5% power when taking dark damage. Okay. Next fight. Yeah, at this point you can access the gate, but the gate says, yeah, I need all 4 of them. Otherwise, you cannot continue. So we only have one real path to go through. This is the Cockatrice. The Cockatrice has a spell that gains Reflect, but unlike the Fallen Draconus, this one needs to charge it up and use the spell, so just don't let it do so. Make sure you have a build that can kill it before it charges this. Okay, next one. And yeah, right here the choices are, oh, do you want to go to the gate? Yeah, but I can't. So I have to go through the last path. We have an ogre, 50% chance to explode a random gem every turn. Not particularly difficult. So we can overpower it. And I think this should be the 4th and last dungeon, isn't it? Yes. Okay, so at least I can show you how to open the gate. Okay, we have a Dryad, immune to poison. If the enemy is confused, gain 15% of starting armor each turn. So as you can see, in this case, it didn't proc the poison from the gift. So again, I don't know why it was active against the living statue, who is immune to all debuffs, not just poison. I believe that's a bug, but again, not a big deal. Uh, Green Wasp, Remove up to 3 skull gems when taking poison damage. Alright, we don't deal poison damage, so goodbye. And finally the green dragon that transforms, or case, that transforms when taking poison damage, convert 3 red gems to green gems. All 4 dragons have basically the same ability that is not particularly difficult to deal with. And we get the last legendary flags. We have all 4 of them. As you can see, we have completed all 4 of the side paths, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we can go to the toll gate, pay the pass, great, and we have another fight. Against this enemy, the Arboleth. You know it from the story mode. They can regenerate life every time you cast a spell, so make sure that you're strong enough to kill it, because if you're a new player and just made it to level 50, 30,000 hit points is a lot. And that's it. And unfortunately, I'm missing 1 energy for the last dungeon. Now, if you look here, it doesn't matter if you go south or north through the shop, you still need to spend 2 energy in these 2 fights on the south or these 2 fights on the north. So it doesn't really make a difference. And I purchased 25 energy plus the 5 I got for free. That will be 30. And as you can see, you need 31 to finish the adventure, as long as you don't die, obviously, because I have 1 left here. But this adventure is active for 7 days. 7 times 5, that's 35. So you get 4 extra energy for this adventure. Now, I'm gonna finish the video right here. If I am able to record the next part tomorrow and put it on all in just 1 single video, I will do so. Otherwise, I will have to, if I'm not able to do so, I will have to upload this video in 3 uh, separate parts. So sorry again, apologies for the problem at the start of the video that prevented me from doing it in just 1 long recording, but it is what it is. So thank you very much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and see you on the next one. And I'm back. Welcome to the 3rd part of this video. If you're watching this video as a single long video instead of 3 parts, it means I was successful in merging all 3 videos, which is great, because this will allow me to do more videos like this one for long adventures that I can record in 3, 4, 5 different chunks and then edit it all together. But please bear with me, I'm still learning how this works. So, otherwise, it means I wasn't able to merge them together, in which case I apologize for the inconvenience. But this is the end part of this adventure. One thing I want to talk about is the energy. I don't know if this adventure works in a different way, or if the last patch that was pushed 2 days ago changed it. Usually the energy only replenished up to the maximum. Yesterday I ended up with 1 energy left because this dungeon required 2 energy, as you can see, so I was unable to finish it. And today I have 6 out of 5, so the game gave me 5 instead of just replenishing up to 5. So again, I don't know if it's something from for this adventure alone or something they changed in the game. Either way, my recommendation is use your energy every day. Don't wait for the last day in case it doesn't add up. So let's do this last fight, as I said. The first enemy is a Thunder Giant, Storm Giant. Gains 10 mana when taking light damage. Not particularly difficult. Goodbye. The next one is a Skeleton, the mini boss Fallen Prince. Inflicts terror and freeze on the enemy for 2 turns when taking physical damage. Terror will increase the amount of damage you receive if they are more than 5 dark or purple gems on the board, but he uses ice, so it doesn't have a synergy. And freeze will have the amount of mana you get from matches. So again, not a particularly difficult enemy. And the last boss, which is Lord Ragnar. I don't understand why this is not the Dark Dragon, because we already fought the other 4 elemental dragons, but they decided to put this one instead. When taking ice damage, convert 3 green gems to blue gems. Okay. Again, not a particularly difficult end dungeon for the adventure. Yeah, it was a higher level. It was level 61, higher than the 50 that you started from, but not particularly difficult. And that's it. We are at the end. This is the end reward, which is the Dragonking axe. It will be a legendary Dragonking axe, so let's see if it rolls anything good or not. And okay, let's go to the inventory page so we can see the exact stats, but I feel like the power is extremely low. All right, here it is. As usual, click on the question mark, and yeah, as you can see, the power is only 136, extremely low. Damage is relatively okay for a legendary, but it rolled low. If we filter here the legendary items, this is something else that they pushed in the last update, but let's filter on legendary alone, and this will make the highest quality go to the top. So the highest legendary that I have is base quality, not honing, is 595. If I remember correctly, legendaries can have a minimum of 400 and a maximum of 600. Let's check the lowest one. No, the minimum is 350 and the maximum seems to be 600. Let me check again. Yeah, 595. All right, let's go back and to this. Okay, so as I was saying, 437, so it's in the low range, and yeah, power is extremely low. This will require probably 13, maybe 14 copies to max, so it's definitely not a good base to work with. But even if you get a good base item, even if you get an item close to the 600s, it's still going to have low stats unless you're very, very lucky and you roll high base stats, so damage, power, and ice mastery. It's gonna probably be not very good. Anyway, this Dragonking axe that I'm using already had 2 copies invested in it, and as you can see, the ice starting mana here is at 50%. So this ended up being item that required 12 copies to upgrade. But anyway, I'm not gonna keep it. Uh, it's not worth keeping it for another build. So what I'm going to do is to upgrade it and sacrifice it. So let's start by, I cannot equip, of course. I can only replace. Let's go to the tavern. It's a weapon, therefore you need to go to Soul Chaser, Forge, Refine, select it. This is the legendary that I just got. Refine, Rarity, and we want to upgrade it. Now, let's see what the lowest mythic is. Okay, all right. Not this one because it has light starting mana. I don't want to sacrifice this one, so let's go one tier up. See what we find. Okay, we find quite a few weapons here, and fire damage resistance, speed, and experience bonus. I don't want to sacrifice the experience bonus. This one has a starting mana, so I don't want to sacrifice it either. This one has fire starting mana, and this one has light starting mana. Okay, let's see the bows. Okay, poison damage, vitality, and elite damage protection. So yeah, this is a good candidate for sacrificing because I have two other bows in this category, and I'm pretty sure I have higher level bows. So this is a good one for sacrificing. In order to upgrade it, you're gonna need 1000 ore, some gold, and some shards, but you get tons of this. But more importantly, one tier 4 relic, in this case is the Bloodfang relic, and one weapon glyph. So let's refine it. It's already blue, so I don't need to change the element, otherwise I would have to change the element here, but being already blue is great for me. So let's go to the Dragonking set. Okay, select my weapon, which is this one. Refine, quality, and because it's still filtered here, doesn't show up. Now it shows up, and this is the one I'm going to sacrifice. Oh, it went to a 553 quality. Okay, it got some additional power, 148, but still it's pretty low. And I'm going to sacrifice it to my main one. And as you can see, this is the preview of how the stats will increase, and obviously 50 ether because um, it's the same slot, the same element, and the same set. So let's refine. Are you sure? Yes, I am. Okay, and that's it for this adventure. Let's put it back. Where are you? Okay, equip, and yeah, it's a little bit better than it was before. Not by a lot, but yeah, it's still 9 more to max out. But that's the adventure, and that's the end of the video. Thank you very much for watching. As I said, if I can manage to put them all together, it means that I can record separate videos in separate days for other adventures and then merge them together. So this video is an experiment to see how that works, and if it works fine, that's great. And as I said, thank you very much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and bye bye. See you on the next one.